Injury and sports are like identical twins. Both come with each other. Wounds happen constantly in sports. Regardless of whether it's just about as basic of a scratch or as awful as a torn ACL, competitors become acclimated to torment. While the most exceedingly terrible, most extreme wounds are normally thought to occur in football and hockey, the NBA has had its reasonable part of wrecking wounds throughout the long term. Consistently, an assortment of players will be harmed and compelled to pass on a number of games. These wounds aren't regularly considered as being excessively grisly. However, from time to time, we see a physical injury that makes us turn away. So today in this video, we'll be looking at some of the worst player injuries in the NBA. At number 6, career-ending knee injury. A while ago when the Knicks weren't the fool of the association, Baron Davis was a central member of the group. While trying to dunk, he attempted to make an effort. However, as he broadened his arms, his knee locked and Davis went in. The injury didn't look really awful right away. However, replays showed his knee collapsed internally as his foot remained planted on the court. Davis was cut by the group in the offseason, all while rehabbing as late as 2014. The injury was the finish of his profession, as he's never played a second in the NBA again. At number 5, dislodging arms. In a 2010 game against the Suns, Bucks center Andrew Bogut attempted a dunk in the second quarter. He landed awkwardly on his right arm. Maybe awkwardly isn't quite the right word. Maybe it's better to say that he munched on the bones painfully. Unlike the previous injury, everyone watching it knew it was bad by the moment that they saw it. What announcers believed to be a broken wrist turned out to be a broken hand, sprained elbow, and sprained wrist. He lost the rest of the season, but would get over it. In fact, the timing of the injury alleviated some of the pain, as it came right before the NBA lockdown. At number 4, damaging spinal cords. Marquise Daniels was driving with the ball in 2011 when out of nowhere he fell over. Scarcely contacted by the safeguard, he fell and hit his head on the court so hard that you could hear a bang over the transmission. From the start, nobody realized what was happening. However, as the clinical staff started checking him out, unmistakably, Davis wasn't moving and everybody acknowledged how genuine this was. Following 5 minutes of lying on the floor still, Davis was done on a cot. It was subsequently found that he had a swollen spinal cord and would miss 1 to 2 months. Considering how serious the repercussions of the injury looked, Davis ought to view himself as fortunate, as it was just that. At number 3, blown face. In contrast to the wide range of various passages on this rundown, this injury was no mishap. On December 9, 1997, the Lakers, driven by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, were playing against the Houston Rockets and Rudy Tomjanovich. Kevin Cunnert caught up on the latest with Abdul-Jabbar, who was clutching him for apparently no real excuse. The outcome was monstrous. Tomjanovich was hit and in the force of the impact, slipped and fell, landing headfirst on the court. This halted the battle before it occurred, as players accumulated around the fallen player to check whether he was alright. Blood was spouting from Rudy's nose, and the towel used to stop it became dark red in a moment. He was okay, yet his NBA vocation never refocused, as he resigned a couple years later after the fact. At number 2, breaking backbones. TJ Ford showed that how one nasty move might end one career in 2012. Davis was covering Ford when he pushed Ford. Ford fell and lied still on the court and was intensely breathing. Everyone knew something was wrong. Medical support arrived after some time and took him as he refused to take the wheelchair. The end was surprising, as the injured player took retirement on the following Monday. At number 1, bleeding lips. An incident from 2010 NBA shows how rashless it can get. Nash was covering and got elbowed by Earl Watson. After a while, when he regained control, the cameraman focused onto his face, and what you saw was a bloody nose with the victim smiling. He was not affected at all, talking to others normally. Now that is a gruesome injury. Well guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Swish Position, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video. See you all next time.